I'm just a mom. I'm
Yeah.
just a mom who needed more for my family and wanted more and knew that I could get more and knew that I wasn't going to go back to work for somebody else to get it. So that's how I ended up in this space. And that was the biggest challenge for me to overcome, but I did overcome it.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Doing Business Right. My name is Dr. Bryan Raya and I'll be your host today. As an entrepreneur and small business owner in Northwest Arkansas, I want to help connect our business community together, both local and abroad, through collaboration and networking. Doing Business Right is a podcast aimed at helping new and established small business owners, as well as those who may be thinking about entrepreneurship. We do this by sharing stories and insights and encourage strong and efficient small business growth. So I'm super excited about what we have today. Oh, one quick announcement is that I do have my bookkeeping firm, DBR Bookkeeping, but I also have the DBR Bookkeeping online community. So this is an actual community where you get to learn bookkeeping skills, learn how to you can save money, and just learn how to have peace of mind. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out the stuff in the description below, or just contact me, and I will be happy to get you started with that. So enough about me. I'm super excited about our guest today. We have Renee Young with Rise with Renee Digital Marketing. Hello, Renee.
Hello, Brian. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I am really happy. Thank you for kind of accepting the invitation to be here today and just kind of talk about, doing business right and kind of hearing your story and hopefully maybe inspire some people of some good business practices, or maybe inspire an entrepreneur going like, yeah, I think I can do something like this. It's a lot of fun. So let's get right into it, Renee. Why don't you just tell our audience a little bit about your background and story?
Sure, I would love to. I am actually almost 59 years old. I will be 59, and I tell you this for a reason because you'll understand as we go through this that if I can do this, anybody can do this. But I'm almost 59 years old, and what happened to me was I'm a mom. I have three kids that I've raised. They're all older. My youngest is 21 and in college. So I'm at that age right now where um, you know, what's my purpose in life? I was a
Mhm.
mom, I raised my kids, I went to work, I did my stuff, and I did all of that. But after 40 years, I realized that I had nothing left and no retirement. And I went, what the hell am I going to do? And the
Wow,
reason
yeah.
that led me there was, yeah, what led me to that point was I was 56 years old and I never lost a job in my life. So it was the first time. I was very lucky and blessed all these years. And I always worked somewhere that I loved. So I was happy. But I was taken by surprise one day when the company I worked for 9 years, and I worked for a very good friend of mine, and he sold the company, but he didn't tell me he was selling the company. Here's the kicker. 2 weeks before, we had a little meeting, and he took away my health insurance. He made a deal with me because, and I don't
Huh.
remember exactly what went down with it, but we took away my health insurance, and it wasn't a good situation. I was really upset about that. And then come to find out that 2 weeks later, I no longer, he sold the company. So I had been asking him because the rumor mill had told me he was selling the company. That, are you selling the company? No, 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 I was told. And then he sold the company. So I was left at 56 years old with no health insurance, no job security, which I always had, and no job loyalty, which is what I always gave, right?
Yeah.
And here I was at 40 years later of giving my work and my best self to everybody else to be like, I don't even have enough to retire on. And this is a little scary. So it was a really scary moment for me. And at that moment, I looked at my husband and I said, I cannot go back and work for somebody else ever again. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I that was not an option. So I had to figure it out. And that's how I got to where I am right now. And that's a little bit of my backstory. I was
Wow.
just know that it was time. It was time for me to do something for me and
Mhm.
my family and not for everybody else's family. It was time to take back my power and bring it into our house. And that's what I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think for the audience and for people who are listening, there's so many stories like that. Unfortunately, there's just these stories of people who are like, well, my story is kind of similar. I was like, I left a job, and I was like, I don't know. What else could I do? And I kind of shifted into entrepreneurship. And this could happen people at whether they're 20 or people I know entrepreneurs who started, in their 60s. who are like, yeah, actually, I'm going to try something completely new and different. So I think it's, again, that whole thing. If we can do it, you can totally do it, and it's super important. So, and I know, so we're going to talk about into like digital marketing a little bit, and kind of specifically because I know it's kind of like that's the field you kind of chose in this industry, and obviously it's a huge industry, so many aspects to it, and I still think even to today a lot of people are going, what is digital marketing? And so how would you explain that to kind of like in simple terms what digital marketing is?
I love that question. Thank you for asking it, Brian. So, first of all, you are right. It is a huge, tremendous industry right now. And the reason why is because there's so many ways to make money online and market yourself online. So that is what digital marketing is all about. In fact, I want to leave you with this start you with this statistic, and that is that right now it is a $1 billion a day industry. So let that sink in about how big it is,
Did you
right?
say a day?
A day. Okay, but here's the kicker. It's going to get better. It's going to be, and Forbes has projected it to be $1 trillion a day industry by 2030. Well, my friends, that is only in 4.5 years, right? So if you're not on this platform of understanding digital marketing, you're going to be left behind because the world is changing and the landscaping is changing as it always does in the digital world, right? Well, digital marketing, to break it down super, super simple for you, is it's just like marketing. You're taking a product or a service and you are pushing it out to people that are already looking at it through attraction marketing. They're looking for this solution. So people are searching online for how to make money from home.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that they're doing. It's the number two search thing on the internet besides weight loss. You do the thinking and figure that out. You are in the wrong place if you are not jumping into this train right now because it is going to evolve and you don't want to be left behind. You want to evolve with it. And that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, awesome. So more specifically, I want to curious because I know there's a lot of different digital marketing kind of aspects. So where are you focusing right now that you think is kind of like the best place for you personally, but also for, your clients, customers, your avatar?
So I say that the best way to get started is to find a proven system. That's what I did last
Mm.
year. When I knew that when I first lost my job and I Googled how to make money online, the first thing that I found, I put in the top 10 ways, and the first one was digital marketing. The second one was drop shipping. Well, I said to myself, well, I don't have a product. I didn't even know what I was talking about, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I can't do digital marketing because I can't market something if I don't have a product, right? So I didn't even read about it. I skipped right past it. Was a mistake, I promise you. I went to drop shipping. I decided to figure out how to be a drop shipper because I always wanted to have a fashion store and this thing
Okay.
would have to have inventory. Well, that was not true. I spent drop shipping is supposed to be not a lot of money out of your pocket to have this business and also be able to bring you in money and be easier, right? However, it's not that way, especially you're at the mercy of the drop shippers. And I found that out the hard way
Mm,
about 5 figures later and two websites later and a lot of money and a lot of time. And a year later, I finally realized I had to close my store
yeah.
because one thing you realize is you cannot compete with Shein and you cannot compete with Amazon or Temu or any of them. It's impossible. Don't even bother to try. Okay. Because when you're a drop shipper, the price you're paying before you can even sell it to your customer is more than you can pay for it if you went to Temu or Amazon. I'm not going to win on that battle, right? So you're paying a lot less money with them than I even can start before I sell it to you. So long story short, I got out of that and I was sitting there and I was on Facebook and I actually was so fortunate to see a friend post about something she was doing. She literally had said that she had made 70K since January, and Brian, it was May. So I was like, my ears opened up and I
Yeah, you're
always
like, what?
right? What did you say? I'm like, I need to call you. So I did. I called her and I said, Allison, what the heck are you doing? Right. So she told me and she says, listen, here's my website. Go to my website. It's an MRR. So MRR, Brian, is Master Resale Rights. What
Okay.
people don't realize and what I didn't know when I first searched and I found digital marketing was that I can find an already done for you product that's digital product that
Mm,
I then can promote. So I found a done for you MRR, Master Resale Rights, where somebody else has created the program and the whole system, and I now have the rights to sell it. But
Oh,
not
okay.
just sell it and make a commission, sell it and make 100% profit because I'm
Oh,
the middleman. So there's nobody there. It's not an MLM. It's not like that
yeah.
where you have an, you know how an MLM works. You have somebody above you making money off of what you do, somebody below you making money, you're making money off of them, and it trickles down and it's a big tree and it's nothing wrong with it. But that's not what this is. So this is you actually are buying the rights to sell this product for yourself. So I can brand it as Rise with Renee. I don't change the name. It's still what it is. I'm not going to ever touch anything and I don't need to. I bought something that somebody already created and now I have the rights to it. And that's how I got started in this business.
Oh, awesome.
That's what I still tell people to get started with because it taught me everything I needed to know about how to be successful and learn how to make money online with four products that were already done for me. Gave me a website, gave me 30 emails that were already created for me because it taught me how to create an email list. Brian, this is the craziest part. I had been online for years, not realizing I was doing digital marketing anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know, right?
Exactly.
I have lists that I've created over the years that I never took with me. I didn't
Oh,
know how valuable that was
yeah.
until so I've had to create an email list from scratch. I had no following on TikTok. I had nothing, none of that. Okay. And now I have almost 2,500 followers on TikTok. I have viral videos. I'm like, viral videos. I wasn't even making a video before. I didn't even know anything. So that's the thing. It taught me everything. It taught me all of the high income skills that I needed to know to make a living online. And that's what I've been doing. And that snowballed into more things for me.
That's awesome. That's so incredible. And again, and this is only just a couple years ago, right? This wasn't like you've been doing this for 30 years, something like that. You just kind of found an opportunity. And I think it's like the point is like, if you can get connected with the right people and you can find the right thing, right, and just do it, then good things will happen.
And don't overthink it.
Yeah,
Just do it. Because if other people are doing it, then what makes you think you can't?
exactly. I did want to kind of ask, so what kind of challenges, kind of talk me through some of those challenges, kind of those little bumps that you kind of maybe have experienced or you are experiencing within kind of like this model.
Yeah, my biggest challenge was, even though I was taught it, I definitely was a slow learner at getting this part. And that was the program that I followed. And what I've learned is it definitely teaches you how to find your perfect customer and how to talk to your perfect customer
Mm,
and how to get your story out there and your messaging. So creating that messaging that converts is really was my challenge because I wasn't getting my story right. I was so nervous to tell my story to everybody else and let them know until one day it dawned on me. And my story is that I was 56 years old when my company
mm,
decided to sell and they took away my health insurance, and I was literally left with what am I going to do now? And then I realized that I need to tell other people my story
yeah,
because there's so many people out there that are sitting there going, me too. Maybe they didn't lose their job, but maybe they're 59 years old like me and they are trying to find their purpose as a mom or
yeah.
as a dad. Maybe
Mhm.
they've been working for somebody for so long and they know that there's more for themselves, but they
Yeah.
don't know how to get it. Or they didn't prepare properly for their 401k or their
Mm,
retirement because, listen, life happens, right? We can't always do that. I had life happen to me where we had to take what we saved and use it to survive. Life happens in life, right? So this is where you get to this age now, and it's like, well, we didn't hit all of those check marks that we needed, right? And retirement was one of them, and we don't have
yeah.
checked or a big savings account checked because we now we need to backtrack. And that's okay because I'm already there and I'm already doing it. And I say this because if anybody's watching this, it's important for you to know that I'm just a mom. I'm
Yeah.
just a mom who needed more for my family and wanted more and knew that I could get more and knew that I wasn't going to go back to work for somebody else to get it. So that's how I ended up in this space. And that was the biggest challenge for me to overcome, but I did overcome it.
No, you're absolutely right. Our stories, because it's our life, and we think, oh, there's nothing special about me. It's just like, but really, it really is unique, and it really does resonate with people. And if you can find that audience where it resonates with, man, that's when you kind of strike the gold mine. You're like, oh my goodness, yes, I totally understand. You understand what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and then their message just makes it so much easier just to connect with them, and then just and to do business with them. And we're all different, and that's okay. You just gotta find those people. But the only way to find them is that you gotta promote yourself and being authentic, that message, so they will naturally come to you. So let's get into actually Rise with Renee. I'm really curious to kind of hear about, now that you've kind of gotten into all these like little challenges and you got this whole shift things and now you got, I love your hat.
Thank you. I'm all
It-
about branding.
oh, I exactly. I got my brand. That's just what you got to do.
That's it.
And it's super powerful. So Rise with Renee. So I want to kind of talk about first. Let's just get into like the name of your business, right? This name of this model, Rise with Renee. What kind of inspired you to kind of go that route?
Well, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. So, when I started, I had to pick out a name for my business.
Mhm.
And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But one thing I did know is that, and I kind of left this part out in the beginning when you asked me about myself, and this is an important part of it, is that I've lost 100 pounds in the past 4 years.
Wow.
And well, I lost it and I've been keeping it off for 4 years. And actually 5 years. So it was in 2020 was when I started during COVID.
Mm.
And I just was like, well, I'm locked in the house anyway. Instead of eating, I'm going to lose weight. So I went the opposite way of everybody else. And I literally got my mindset on, and mindset is everything. But what it taught me is it taught me how to transform my life. And when I
Mm.
say transform my life, it took me to a whole nother level that I didn't even know that I'd be sitting here right now. And I believe it's all because of that empowerment that I got from it to know that when I lost my job, it was like I can do hard things.
That's
And that's
right.
what it taught me. So I want to help other people know that. And I want to get that message out to everybody so hard because people sit in their stuff for too long and they take it as, well, this is where my life is, but it does not need to be there. So Rise with Renee is to rise up, rise yourself up. And everything I do under my brand is Rise. So I'm actually creating some other things and rise, rise, rise. So I want to bring you up, and that's what I did. But here's the thing, as far as branding goes, this was not my logo originally. It was very similar, but it didn't have the sun behind it. And it
Mm.
wasn't sitting right, and it was blue, and I just wasn't resonating. It wasn't aligning with what I wanted to do. So I talked to a couple of friends, and luckily for me, I have a lot of people that are good leaders and good business people. So I reached out to some of them and I said, hey, I'm thinking I want to redo my logo. I need your input. And between a few people, a lot of people said, put a sun behind it, rising up. I
Oh,
found the perfect sun.
yeah.
I think it's awesome. Look at that, right?
I know. I love it. Yeah.
I created my own logo. I did it myself. I love it. And and there it was. I was branded. Boom. And so I created my hat because now like people recognize me on social media with it. So it's because it's branding and you have to brand yourself because you want to be the purple cow that stands out there, that you're not blending in with everybody else that's in the world of digital life, right?
Yes.
So whether it's on your social media or just whatever it is, you want to be the purple cow. You want to be the person that they want to look at because you're standing out. That's how I got to Rise with Renee. I really didn't know where it was going when I created it, but it evolved and I realized I'm all about that transformation, whether it's in your life, personal,
Mm.
finances, your relationships, whatever it is. I just want to help everybody know that they can rise up and do better.
That's awesome. So now you got this name, you got this great concept. So let's talk more about like what is the business now, actual business model that you're doing.
So, like I mentioned to you before, it's an MRR.
Mhm.
And what happens is, I mean, it was the most amazing system that I found, and it really has changed my life. It was created by Michelle O'Neill. She's amazing. She created this program because she was 54 years old. She knew that she had 6 kids, 5 grandchildren, some still in high school, 2 kids still in high school or in college, and she wanted to do more for her family. She wanted to be able to enjoy them and go have some fun. But as a single mom at the time, she couldn't go and do those things. So she went on looking for a way that she could make some extra money online just about another $54,000 is actually the number that she'll tell you, right? So, well, she succeeded to make a lot more and she made six figures pretty quickly. Then she started teaching everybody what she was doing. And that's what this program is. She's put together all of the things that she has done to make this money and she put it into a program. And guess what? When I started last year, there were only 21,000 people in the community. We're at 55,000 now, a year later, because it's exactly almost a
Wow.
year from when I started.
Wow.
She had just was hitting her first $1 million in a year and a half. And now it's another year later, so 2.5 years, Brian, and she's almost at $6 million. So I think she's on to
Yeah,
something,
I
and
think she might be
I'm
onto
going to
something.
somebody that is going to teach me the right way. And now what I'm doing is sharing that program with other people so that they can learn exactly what I learned that brought me to where I am today, and that they can do this too. And so that program I have the rights to. And every time I sell it, Brian, I make 100% profit. So there's no
Mm,
middleman and nobody. The only person that I ever have to pay is, the credit card processors
yeah,
because
yeah,
they do
yeah.
want to get paid for doing their job. But other than that, it's a business for myself. And that has been the most fulfilling thing and exactly what I wanted when I knew I needed a pivot in my life.
So awesome. So you're basically, the product service you're selling is having is, how to do this model, how to, again, all the different components, the things, all the places you need to be, just the structures to be successful. And it's like basically follow this, don't stop, don't give up, and you'll
You will
be
figure
okay.
it out. I mean, this product, this program and class, or whatever you want to call it, taught me how to go from zero to profit in 7 days, Brian. And I did it in 6 days. So in 6 days, I already had my original investment back, which was not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Um, and I made that back and I went into pure profit mode. So by the end of the first month, I was in four figures already.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
that, my friend, was like, whoa, okay. I decided at that moment it was time to let go of my dropshipping business because it was costing me a lot of money and I wasn't making money with it. And I made more money in 4 weeks with this program than I lost with that program.
Wow. Yeah.
So it didn't make sense. So I had to let it go. You had to make a business decision, right?
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
gotta,
led me to other things since then, and I'm in the process right now of creating some things that are only for me. I mean, they're my products that I'm going to promote. So
nice.
I'm super excited about that. And also, I have my own community, as you know, that's where you found me, and I have my own community in Skool, and just things have evolved. I did not see that coming a year ago.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did not, again, I started my business, my bookkeeping firm. I barely even knew about school when I started all this. And then I saw an opportunity to, as you, just like you, like, wait a minute, I think I can maybe tie in some of these things and work these together. And, I'm super excited to kind of see as you launch these new things and, get all this stuff out there. And I'm just like, it's an exciting time, right? Because
Very.
it's like, because that momentum starts going, right? And you said you went from having no followers at all to, to no audience, and suddenly like, wait, people are actually starting to recognize me and like my stuff and are being inspired by you. Like, what just a great feeling to have. That alone, that you're actually changing people's lives in a
I know because
positive
I
way.
had I had a viral video for the first time finally, and I was blown away by exactly what you're saying. I was like, wait a minute. I said to my husband, I go, do you see that there's like 100 people that forwarded my video and saved it? And all these people, there's over 200 people that are commenting on here. And what is going on? I'm like, how is people want to see my stuff? I'm like, it's really wild. It's
Wow,
pretty wild.
that it's so yeah, and I think it's so cool to kind of hear it at this stage of where you are, because we always see like the influencers that have been around for years and they already have those millions of followers, and they're like, oh gosh, I can't get there. It almost feels unrealistic, So it's really cool to hear, people that are kind of like, no, I'm getting those first initial little wins, but that's where you begin. That's where you start.
Can I just add to that? Because one thing that I talk about a lot and dawned on me recently is that we see the polished person. We see them where they are
Hmm.
today.
Exactly.
We didn't see the ride up there and
Yeah.
they the ride. They made that first scary video like I did. They did all of that like I did. And we just didn't see that. That's all. It's
Yeah,
there.
it's there. It totally is. If you were going, into like, hundreds of old videos, you'd probably find some pretty raw, almost nothing out there. So
Oh
super
my gosh.
exciting.
Even
Um,
mine, if you go down to the bottom and see my when I first started, you'll be blown away at where I am right now to where I am. That should motivate you right there.
yeah, that alone should like go motivate you. All right, I want to wrap things up real quick. If you're watching this, thank you so much. Hey, thanks for watching this really great conversation with Renee, and hopefully that will inspire you. We're gonna have a couple last comments, but if you please, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel or any of my socials. Again, this is one of the best ways to support entrepreneurs and small business is by liking, following, giving some comments out there. It really makes a difference for all of us that are involved. So thank you. Please subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. Renee would appreciate it. We'd all appreciate it. So, Renee, how do people find you? What's I'm sure you're gonna be like, well,
Well, I do. And I love that question. You know, I love that question. Well, okay, simply, you can go to my website, which is www.risewithrenee.com. And that is how you can plug into the system. All you do is drop in an email address in there, and I will send you over the information. And then if you have any questions from there, you can email me back and just respond to that email and go directly to me. And the only one that will see it, and we can chat. And I'm always happy to jump on a Zoom with people too if they want to do that to really pick my brain more. Now, the other thing is that's the best way to reach me.
mhm.
But you can follow me on my socials. My socials are I'm on all of them: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. And I'm at Rise with Renee on all of them, except on Facebook, I will be Renee Young. But here's the thing, there is also a wrestler named Renee Young, so I blend in with her. So you need to put in Renee Young, Rise with Renee, and you will find me.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And again, all that stuff will be down in the comments in the description of this video. So please check that out. Go check those things out. I always end my podcast and my episodes with asking the guest, what does doing business right mean to you?
Doing business right, especially in the digital space, is number one, really super important, is be yourself. Be authentic and be you. And this is something that took me a long time to learn. So if you're not that way right away, don't worry, it will evolve. Okay. But you need to be authentic. People want to connect with you as a person. That's who's going to connect on the other side. And be authentic, be truthful, be real. And when you can do that, you will see success.
Awesome. Great words, great words, great words. I love it. Thank you so much, Renee. With Rise with Renee, you're doing great things. I'm super excited to see where your journey goes. And again, thank you to our audience for tuning in to Doing Business Right. I hope you found the insights in this conversation valuable on implementing good business practices and generating innovative ideas to foster the development and growth of your enterprise. For further knowledge on effective business practices, as well as seeing other episodes, go visit my website, dbrbookkeeping.com. Stay updated with the latest tips and news by liking and following us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, DBR Bookkeeping, and also with my books, DBR Publishing. If you're interested in being part of this whole podcast thing, or maybe seeking advertising things or want to be on here, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love to collaborate with you. Our podcast is growing within the business community, and we're providing an excellent platform to connect with fellow entrepreneurs in not just Northwest Arkansas, but really around the world. So I am your host, Dr. Bryan Raya, and I wish all entrepreneurs and business owners the utmost success by doing business right. Have a great day.